Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be presenting you with one of our favorite snacks to have, the Katsu Sando.
Into what's happening in the background there. Now, when you hear Sando, the first thing we thought of was like sand. Like, is this involving sand or something? Sando is short for sandwich.
It's a katsu sandwich. Now, katsu comes from the donkatsu. Don is Japanese for pork. Katsu is actually short for katsuretto. So it's supposed to be pork cutlets. So there's the short of katsuretto, and then
The
shorter
short
than
of the
that,
sandwich
it's
is-
the katsu sando.
It's very complicated if you think about it.
Why are there so many abbreviations and words
Jamming
put together?
things together.
I'll tell you, the one thing I really like about Japanese food is when they name it, there's never anything like ambivalent. Like, here's a foghorn legless, in which you look at the title, you have no idea what it is.
Like in Britain, when they're like a spotted dick. And I'm like, what am I about to eat right now? Why would you make that name?
There's no guesswork in the names. They say what they are. This is a cutlet sandwich.
Now I hear you. You guys might be saying something like,
Are you really doing a video on a cutlet sandwich?
The answer is yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
So we got two different kinds of Katsu Sandos today. This one here is kind of like the traditional one that I would say you can find everywhere. And then this one we got from like a hirikatsu shop. They also make sandwiches on the side. So this one was more expensive.
This one was $5. Don't laugh, this package is a lot smaller than expected, but it's enough. It's enough to be satisfying.
I only bought the like 3-piece set because I knew we were eating 2 sandwiches.
What the
Into what's happening in the background there.
is happening behind us? I think we picked the wrong spot in the park to
Pick the weird place. We picked the weird place. Oh, look at that perfectly sauced little piece of magic right there.
You ready?
Yep,
Here we
time to
go.
get messy. Believe in your dreams. This one was hirikatsu, which means that cut off all the fatty bits so that when you bite into it, you don't hit any like nubbles of fat or tendon.
Perfectly smooth meat.
Smooth is always a terrible description that we do, but
No, you don't
it's
want
true. Like,
crunchy meat, you want smooth meat.
but it's not like the heavy breading that you get with like a cutlet in Europe and in Canada. Like the cutlets that I grew up with, because I'm European, where you know, like pounded down meat, and then you bread it, and it's got like egg and flour, and then it's deep fried, and then when you like cut into it and you try to like bite into the sandwich, this whole like breading would like slide off.
It's just a fried pork cutlet with sauce on the cutlet and just pure white bread with the crust cut off. And what's so amazing about that is that you would think, don't you need more? You don't. This has all the flavor that you need. The sauce is also perfect because it's added to the cutlet rather than the bread, because if you add it to the bread, it might soak through the bread, but it stays onto the cutlet perfectly.
Now he's juggling. He was throwing sticks in the air, but now he's juggling. The other thing that's amazing about it is they add the sauce to the outside of the crust when it comes right out of the fryer. So when it's like super, super hot, they sauce it, and then it kind of like both soaks in and almost doesn't, because I think the oil still creates that little bit of a barrier. And the panko crust on the outside, I think, is key as well. So panko is like a Japanese type of breadcrumb, and it's soft and airy. It's not like a heavy drudging of flour. That's the right word, right? Judging? Drudging.
Dredging.
I'm drudging making this.
I have a question.
Question is,
There's an old dude that just walked past us with a marijuana hat on.
Yes.
Does he know what it means? Yes, no. What
leave
do you
in
think
your comment section
in the
below.
audience?
If he floats up behind us and goes,
Oh man, I could really go for that Katsu Sando.
then we'll be like, yeah, we know what's happening here.
Also, look at the bread right here. You see how thin that is? None of the sauce has gone through the bread. This is holding the cutlet perfectly for bite-sized nibbles.
For bite-sized nibbles.
Nibble
that sounds
size
like,
bites.
I don't know, nibbles are nibbles and bites are bites. I think those two shouldn't come together. If you're sharing with Simon though, that makes sense, because he's like, I'll just have a nibble bite. And then I look down and there's like half my sandwich is gone. You ate half my sandwich?
Yes!
It's only this
Well,
big.
it's half for us. We're sharing.
It's like the size of a dice.
You know what else is super important about this too? Look, I'm an adult. We're all adults here watching, right? Hey everybody, I want my sandwiches to have their crust cut off. Why is it that we only had the crust cut off as kids, and as soon as we hit a specific age, we're like, hey, we have to have the crust on? No, I don't want to have crust on my sandwich. Just give me the perfect amount of soft, milky, fluffy, wonder bread kind of dough. That's all I want.
They do have other types of bread here, like European breads, hard crust on the outside, you know.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Katsusando, it's made with that Wonder type bread that you
Yes.
were saying. But it's a little little bit sweeter, and I would say it's not as doughy. When you have Wonder Bread and you kind of bite into it, it kind of sometimes sticks to the roof of your mouth.
Exactly.
And it's almost like pasty.
And it's super porous at the same time as well. This doesn't, it's not that gluey kind of bread.
There it is, that's the description. It's more like a milky, fluffy type taste of bread.
Like if you've ever had a meatball sub on like a crusty bread, when you bite into it, the bread is so crusty and it's just so hard, and you bite that, it just shoots out your meatballs like spitball pellets and whatnot.
Yeah.
That is a terrible realization of a meat sandwich. Japan does it right. I'm so confused. They're playing really creepy music in the background as well.
I am gonna step in there for a second. We made a terrible mistake by not getting any water or milk.
The flavors are in our mouth, so we can describe them more.
I'm so thirsty, so thirsty.
Are you thirsty for another sandwich?
We're going on to the second sandwich, and I'm gonna say from the get-go that this is not the traditional kind that you would get at a convenience store.
No.
Every single Katsu Sando we've ever seen, ever, always has the crust cut off.
Right.
Right here,
They got crusts on.
they got crusts on.
Now, the only reason we're giving them a forgiveness pass is because this is not actually a Katsu Sando shop. This one makes the cutlets and they serve it over rice. And then on the side, they happen to have like a couple of sandwiches that you can buy. We think that this is kind of like, could be an anti-up version of the normal
We're
Katsu
not
Sando.
sure. We're gonna experience this together. Have a smell of that. What does that smell like?
Oh yeah.
Okay, here you go. Grab yours.
I feel uncomfortable and worried about my well-being.
I think what's happening with this one is that you're supposed to order it at the shop and like eat it right away. Like it's supposed to be for lunch because you can already see that this is soaking through. And that's a big don't, if you ask me, not a do. Huh? Usually you're the one with the bad jokes.
You know what? When we were walking and talking, Martina actually thought of that joke a while ago. This isn't on the spot. Martina's been reciting this in her head. This could be delicious. I'm so weirded out by this. He's literally have a ball on his head.
Now he has a ball in his head. You know what this is like? Hey, do you have any talents that aren't that talented, but like you can balance a ball on your head? Well, come on.
Okay, no, we gotta eat our sandwich.
ready?
Here we go.
Oh man.
Whoa. I was being really judgy, but this is vastly superior in taste. Oh man, this is still crunchy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it was just straight out of the fryer, right?
Oh man.
So the crust is quite unoffensive because it's like a Wonder Bread one.
Oh, I was so judgy. I was so wrong.
Now, something we didn't talk about before was the Katsu Sando sauce. It's usually a tonkotsu sauce, and tonkotsu sauce to me is like the Japanese answer to barbecue sauce.
It's got like a barbecue with a Worcestershire blend to it.
Meets something fruity, but this place has a totally different sauce on it. I'm sorry, I ever doubted you here in Katsu place. Please, please. Yeah. Guys, if you're coming to Japan, you cannot skip out on this. If you're going to a train station and you're traveling on the Shinkansen, you can get them at any train station. You gotta look for it, because everyone's gonna go for the bentos, but this is also a really good equivalent to go for.
Let us know, what is your country's special sandwich that we should know about if we go there and visit, because we introduced you to the Katsu Sando. Wow, I really wanted to talk more about Katsu Sandos, but I think we picked the wrong spot to film.
Or
I
the
think
right
we should just
spot.
go film this guy.
That's what we're gonna do, guys. Just
All right.
enjoy another...
Enjoy. We're gonna watch this dude.
Oh,
All right.
he's coming closer, I'm scared. Oh, he's interacting with people.